All right, so my name is DJ Wooldridge. This is the Only Stupid Answers YouTube channel. Welcome. And this is Only Movie Answers, where we review the latest movies coming out any given week. Today, we are talking about A Quiet Place, starring and directed by John Krasinski, also known as Jim Halpert from The Office. So for those of you that don't know anything about A Quiet Place, here is some of the info about it. A family is forced to live in silence while hiding from creatures that hunt by sound. It's directed by and also stars John Krasinski, along with Emily Blunt, Noah Jupe, and Millicent Simmonds. So right now, A Quiet Place is sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, with all critics and top critics, which is crazy impressive. For me, I really enjoyed this movie. This is a perfect scary movie to take a date to. You'll all be bundled up with each other as you try to make it through this very tense movie. It creates a vice around you and doesn't let go, which is fun, which is what we all want when we go to a scary movie, right? Yes, and. So we like to stay positive on Only Stupid Answers when it comes to talking about these movies. And fortunately, with A Quiet Place, it's super easy to do that. There's a lot to like about this movie, but the thing that really stood out to me, head and shoulders above everything else, is the acting. Since everybody in it has to stay super quiet because there are monsters that respond to the sounds they make. It's a very good showcase of actors reacting to each other, to sounds around them, and just emoting without using any words. It's almost like John Krasinski thought, what did everybody like about me on The Office? Oh, when I made facial expressions, I'm gonna do a movie of that, but none of the fun facial expressions, none of the wink, I know what's going on. It's all scared and sad. Also, the whole cast, which I basically read the entire cast to, it's just basically those four people, and they all have a great rapport with each other, which isn't surprising with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt because they're actually spouses in real life. And the thing that attracted Krasinski to the role, according to him, is they had just recently had their second child when he read the original screenplay. So the idea of doing a movie about family and protecting your family was appealing to him. The other thing I really liked about this movie is the tone. It sets a very eerie tone. We like to compare movies like this to Twilight Zone. And the reason we do that is Twilight Zone was this perfect example of little one-off, basically short stories that were scary and kind of thought-provoking and teleported you to a unique world that wasn't like our own, that was kind of predicated on a what-if scenario. So the what-if scenario here is, what if sound was bad? What if making any sound at all was the enemy and you had to live your life completely quietly? That seems to be the main conceit, and everything else is kind of built around it. And John Krasinski and the other screenwriters find a way to exploit every possible scenario about not trying to make sound. Like anything that you would worry about making sound is involved in this movie and makes you tense up. There's also one specific sequence that really stood out to me that focuses on Emily Blunt as she goes through a traumatic life event while trying to stay as quiet as possible. And it's really a showcase of her ability. It really exploits the premise in a very interesting way and really sucks you in. I feel like the best horror movies find a way to teleport you into a reality like this and force you to think about what you would do in this sort of situation and how you would try and survive. And this sequence is an amazing example of that. You keep wondering, what could you possibly do to make the monster go away? And there isn't an easy solution, and Emily Blunt acts the hell out of it. This goes to my critique though, because that sequence, which is amazing, ends up continuing until basically the end of the movie. The last 2/3 of the movie are like one long horror thrill ride, which on one level is very engaging and very scary. But on the other hand, it almost becomes comical as the characters jump from the frying pan into the fire, back into the frying pan that's also on fire, which then gets dumped onto the oven, which all catches the whole house on fire. And then the neighborhood catches on fire. And you get the metaphor I'm going for here. At a certain point, it's like, can't these people just catch a damn break? Which in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing to have. It's not the worst thing to have a really amazing tense sequence, even if it kind of verges on overstaying its welcome. But all that said, I really think if you're looking for a fun, scary movie to go see with friends or go see with a loved one, this is it. This fits the bill. It feels like we always get one standout horror movie a year now, at least one. And I think this fits that model this year. It's not only tense and interesting and thought-provoking, but it's a lot of fun. And I think you'll really enjoy yourself if you like horror movies. If you don't like that tension and release, don't go see this movie. But I'm sorry for you because you're missing out. So we always like to do fun ratings with these movies by picking a number from the movie to base it off of. They give demarcations for what day it is since the arrival of these creatures. I believe the bulk of the movie takes place on day 478. So out of 478, what would I give this movie? I think I would give it a 3 90, which I think would be a high B. And I think it definitely deserves a high B. It's a killer, like B+ movie. I highly recommend going to see it in theaters. All right, so those are my thoughts on A Quiet Place, but I'd like to know what you think once you see the movie. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you should subscribe to this channel so you can see more content like this. We talk about superhero news. We also just did an adventure blog that shows our journey through Seattle and Emerald City Comic Con, so you should definitely check that out. For more of that, not only subscribe, but make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notifications when our videos go up so you can be up to date with all the cool kids. Also, like this video so that we have a sense of worth and value in this world. And of course, check out onlystupidanswers.com because that's your one-stop shop for everything we got going on. You got our podcast episodes, you got our videos, you got our merch store, you got a link to our Patreon. Everything is all at onlystupidanswers.com. That's it for me. I'm DJ Wooldridge. You can follow me at DJ Talks Trash. Also, please go subscribe to the newsletter at chaostheorycomic.com because that's coming sooner than you think. I think that's it. I'm done. They do a good job of waiting to show you the creatures, and when they do, it's pretty cool.